Welcome back to Practice English Anytime. I'm Maya, and I'm really happy you're here with us again.
And I'm Alex. Today we're talking about something super simple, but super useful in everyday English: the weather. It's one of the easiest ways to start a conversation, make friends, or just sound more natural when speaking.
Exactly. And don't forget, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you can practice English with us every day. It really helps you grow your confidence.
All right, let's start. Weather seems like a small topic, but honestly, it affects everything. Our mood, our plans, our conversations, and sometimes even our whole day. And I feel like last week, we experienced almost every kind of weather possible.
Yes, last week was a roller coaster. Sun, rain, wind, cold, everything in 1 week. So today, we're going to talk about different weather situations we experienced and how to talk about them in simple English.
Let's start with Monday. Do you remember how bright and sunny it was?
Oh, yes. Monday morning felt like the middle of summer. The sun came out early, the sky was so blue, and the temperature was warm, but not too hot. I was actually surprised because we had such a cold weekend before that.
Same. I woke up, looked out my window and thought, wow, this is the perfect morning to walk to work. I usually take the metro, but that day I decided to walk for like 25 minutes.
Did you enjoy it?
I did. The sun wasn't harsh, and there was a gentle breeze. People were sitting outside cafes, some were biking, and everyone looked happier than usual. Sunny weather does that, I guess.
I love when the weather is sunny, but still cool. I had brunch outside with a friend. We sat near the river, and I remember thinking, I could stay here all day. The sunlight reflected on the water, and it felt so refreshing.
Did you take photos?
I did. I took a few pictures of the river and the trees. They looked so bright in the sunlight. And I took a selfie because the lighting was perfect. Natural light makes everything look better.
True. But then Tuesday completely changed the mood.
Oh, yes. Tuesday was a classic rainy day, and not just light rain. It was heavy. I think it started around midnight and continued nonstop until afternoon.
I woke up to the sound of rain hitting my window. The sky was so dark that I thought it was still early morning. I checked my phone and saw it was almost 8. I felt like going back to sleep.
Rainy mornings always make me want to sleep more, but I had an appointment in the morning, so I couldn't stay in bed. I grabbed my umbrella and left the house and guess what? After walking only 2 minutes, the wind flipped my umbrella.
Oh no.
It was embarrassing. I was fighting with my umbrella on the street, trying to fix it while the rain kept falling harder. I finally gave up and bought a cheap umbrella from a small kiosk. It wasn't great, but it kept me dry enough.
Rain plus wind is the worst combination. I remember going to the bus stop and there were puddles everywhere. I had to jump around them like I was playing some kind of game.
Did you get soaked?
A little. My shoes got wet. That's the part I hate about rainy days. Walking with wet socks is terrible.
Agreed. But one thing I like about rainy days is the sound. When I came home later in the afternoon, the rain was still falling, but I made tea and sat next to the window. Listening to the rain felt peaceful.
Rainy evenings are cozy. I cooked pasta that night and watched a movie. It felt like the perfect weather to stay inside.
Exactly. And then Wednesday surprised everyone again. The weather changed from rainy to windy.
Oh yes, Wednesday was crazy windy. I think the wind was strong enough to push people a little while walking.
I felt like I was in a music video, walking in slow motion against the wind.
I had to hold my jacket tight because the wind kept trying to open it. I also saw a few people running after their hats. It almost looked funny, but also dangerous.
I went to a bakery that morning, and when I opened the door, the wind rushed inside and almost knocked over some napkins. The baker looked at me like I brought a storm with me.
Did you stay there for long?
A bit longer than usual. It was warm inside and smelled like fresh bread, so I didn't want to go back outside. I ordered a hot chocolate just to enjoy the moment.
Nice. I had a meeting that day, and the windows in the office kept making noise because of the wind. It was distracting, but also kind of funny.
And you know what's interesting? Even though Wednesday was windy, it wasn't cold at all.
True. But Thursday made up for that. Thursday was freezing.
Yes, Thursday morning felt like winter suddenly came back. When I left home, I could see my breath in the air.
Same here. I looked at the weather app, and it said 3 degrees. I had to take out my winter coat again. I thought I was done with it for the season.
I wore a sweater, a scarf, and a coat, and I was still cold. The wind wasn't strong, but the air felt icy.
The sun came out later, but it didn't help much. I remember standing at the tram stop and rubbing my hands together because they were freezing.
I made soup that night because cold weather always makes me want something warm. What did you do?
I made a big cup of hot tea and wrapped myself in a blanket. I didn't want to move at all.
And then Friday came with a big surprise. The fog.
Yes. The morning was so foggy that I couldn't even see the building across from mine clearly.
Same experience. It looked like the whole city was inside a cloud. The air felt quiet and still.
Fog always makes everything feel mysterious. When I walked outside, I felt like I was in a movie.
Did you enjoy it?
I did, but crossing the street felt scary because cars appeared suddenly out of nowhere.
True. I walked slowly that day, but I love how fog makes trees and lamps look soft and dreamy.
After the fog cleared up, the weather became nice again. Not too cold, not too hot.
Yes, and the sunset on Friday was beautiful. The colors looked pastel, soft pink, orange, and purple.
I took a picture. The sky looked painted.
Me too. And then the weekend weather was also interesting. Saturday started cloudy.
Right, it wasn't raining, but the sky was completely grey. I met a friend for breakfast, and we sat inside because it felt like it could rain at any moment.
I did laundry in the morning and kept checking the sky to make sure it wouldn't start raining before my clothes dried.
Did it stay cloudy all day?
For the most part, yes. But around afternoon, the sun came out for a short time. It was a small but nice surprise.
And Sunday was the warmest day of the week.
Yes! It felt like spring again. I went for a walk in the park, and a lot of people were outside enjoying the weather.
I sat at a cafe terrace. I ordered iced coffee for the first time this year.
I love iced coffee. I didn't have one yet, but I enjoyed walking and feeling the sun on my face after so many cold days.
Isn't it funny how one week can have sun, rain, wind, fog, and cold all mixed together?
It really shows how unpredictable weather can be. But it also gives us so many things to talk about. That's why weather conversations are perfect for beginner English learners.
Yes, you can start with something simple like, "It's sunny today," or "It's a bit windy," and from there the conversation naturally grows.
And sharing personal experiences makes it easier because everyone has a weather story.
Like your umbrella story.
Yes, I will never forget that. Wind and rain together are my least favorite combination.
And I'll never forget walking around with wet socks. That's my personal nightmare.
But then again, sunny mornings, cozy rainy evenings, dreamy foggy days, all of them create moments that are interesting to talk about.
Do you think your mood changes depending on the weather?
Definitely, I feel more energetic when it's sunny. On rainy days, I slow down. On cold days, I want warm drinks. What about you?
Same. But I also enjoy how each kind of weather brings a different feeling. It makes the week more exciting.
True. And it gives us a lot of chances to practice English. because you can talk about weather anytime, anywhere.
Exactly. And speaking of practicing English, there's one thing I really like about weather conversations, and they make you sound friendly.
That's so true. Even a simple sentence like, looks like rain today, can start a conversation with a stranger.
And with friends, you can talk about how the weather affected your day, just like we're doing now.
And that's why talking about weather is such a great topic for beginners. You don't need complicated vocabulary. You just need simple words like sunny, rainy, windy, foggy, cold, warm.
And of course, phrases like, I felt, I saw, I noticed, it looked like, and it made me feel.
Exactly. Using everyday situations makes language learning more natural.
And honestly, weather gives endless things to talk about.
So if you're watching this, try to describe the weather in your city today using simple English. It's great practice.
And we'll continue sharing more weather situations in the next part of our conversation.
But for now, let me tell you one more weather moment from last week that really stood out to me.
Really? I'm curious now. What happened?
It was on Sunday evening, just after my walk in the park. I was heading home, and suddenly the sky changed color. It went from bright and warm to this dramatic golden orange shade. It wasn't sunset yet, but the clouds were catching the light in a really unusual way. Everyone around me stopped walking and looked up. It felt like the whole sky was glowing.
I know exactly the moment you're talking about. I saw it too. The clouds looked like they were lit from inside. It was beautiful and a bit surreal.
Yes, and the temperature suddenly felt warmer, like the air had softened. I remember thinking, weather can be so magical sometimes. It was probably the most peaceful moment of my week.
That's a perfect example of how quickly weather can change the whole atmosphere. One minute you're walking normally, and the next, you're experiencing something special. I also noticed people taking photos of the sky.
I took photos too. I couldn't resist. I even sent one to my friend and said, "Look at the sky right now." We laughed because she sent me the same message at the same time.
That's great. Weather moments like that stay with you. And actually, something similar happened to me last month. It wasn't last week, but I remember it clearly because it was unusual.
What happened?
It was a warm day, around early spring. I went to a cafe to work on my laptop. The weather was perfect. Sunny, warm, quiet. Then suddenly, without warning, it started raining. But here's the strange part. The sun didn't go away. It was raining heavily, but the sun was still shining.
That's called a sun shower. I love those. They always feel magical.
Yes, a sun shower. People at the cafe were confused but excited. Some even stood outside under the awning just to experience it. The raindrops looked like tiny diamonds falling in the sunlight. It lasted maybe 10 minutes, then stopped as quickly as it started.
I love how weather can surprise us like that. And sun showers often create rainbows afterward.
Exactly. After the rain stopped, a rainbow appeared right behind the buildings. I saw almost half of it, and the colors were really bright. Everyone took photos. It made my day.
Weather moments like that always make people smile. Even strangers feel connected for a second.
Yes, that's the nice thing. Weather brings people together in small ways. You can share the same moment, even without talking.
That's why talking about weather is such a great practice topic. It's simple, but emotional. It's part of everyday life.
Speaking of moments people share, do you remember that windy afternoon we both experienced last month? The one where the wind was so strong that signs were shaking and people had to lean forward to keep walking.
Oh, yes. Was unbelievable. I was walking across the bridge, and the wind felt like it was pushing everyone sideways.
I was near the market area, and I saw a woman holding onto her shopping bags like they were balloons trying to fly away. A man's scarf flew off completely. He chased it for a good 10 seconds before someone stopped it with their foot.
That's hilarious. and relatable. My hair was a complete disaster that day. I tried to use my hand to hold it in place, but that didn't work at all.
Windy days are funny because they make everyone look like they're in a battle. You're walking straight, but your body is tilted like you're climbing a mountain.
Yes, and the sound the wind makes. When it blows between buildings, it almost whistles. I remember passing by a tall building and hearing this loud whoosh that lasted several seconds.
Wind can be dramatic, but it's also refreshing sometimes. Last summer, I loved the windy evenings. Not stormy wind, just cool wind after a hot day.
Oh, yes, summer breezes are the best, especially after a long, warm day when the wind suddenly softens everything.
Speaking of summer, do you remember the heat wave we had?
How could I forget? It felt like we were inside an oven.
Yes, I couldn't sleep well for 3 nights. Even with the windows open, the air felt heavy.
I bought so much ice cream during that week. I think I ate ice cream every day.
I drank iced water non-stop, and I spent most of my time sitting near a fan. The moment I stepped outside, I felt the sun hitting my skin like fire.
Heat waves can be exhausting, but I love summer evenings. Last summer, I remember walking near the river around 9 o'clock. It was still warm, but the breeze made it comfortable. The sky was a soft pink. People were outside, chatting, eating, listening to music. The atmosphere felt alive.
Yes, summer nights are full of energy, and they're perfect for small talk because everyone's outside enjoying the weather.
And then there's winter, the complete opposite.
Winter weather is always a challenge. Cold mornings, icy streets, short days.
I remember one winter morning when I stepped outside and slipped immediately. Not a big fall, but a little slide. I looked around to see if anyone saw me.
I had the same experience once. I was walking carefully, but I still slipped a bit. Then I walked like a robot for the rest of the street.
Cold weather makes people move slowly, but I like winter because everything feels quiet and calm.
True. And snow makes everything beautiful. Snowy mornings are my favorite. The world looks clean and soft.
Snow also makes everything brighter. Even when the sky is gray, the snow reflects the light.
Do you remember that big snowfall 2 years ago? I woke up, looked outside, and everything was white. Cars, roofs, trees, everything.
Yes, I remember that. I went outside to walk in the fresh snow. It made that crunchy sound under my shoes. Kids were building snowmen. Adults were taking videos. It felt like a little holiday.
Winter weather creates its own kind of happiness. Hot chocolate, warm blankets, long cozy nights.
Yes, and warm scarves. I love scarves. They make cold weather easier.
And every season brings new small talk topics. Sunshine, rain, snow, wind, heat, fog. You can talk about all of them using simple English.
That's why it's such a useful topic for beginners. You can start with easy sentences like, it's cold today, it's raining, it's sunny outside, or the weather is nice.
And then you can add details to make it more natural. I got caught in the rain. It was windy this morning. It suddenly became warm. The sky looked amazing. I liked the fog. Or even, the weather changed so fast.
Exactly. You don't need big vocabulary, just simple words describing simple experiences.
And everyone understands them because everyone experiences weather.
Speaking of experiences, let me tell you something interesting that happened to me on a foggy morning 2 years ago.
Oh? Tell me.
I had an early class, so I left home before sunrise. The whole street was covered in thick fog. It was so quiet. I could hear my own footsteps louder than usual. When I reached the main road, I saw a man walking his dog. The dog looked like a little shadow moving inside the fog. It felt like I was in a dream.
Fog can make familiar places look completely different.
Yes, that morning felt magical and a bit mysterious. Even the traffic lights looked brighter because of the fog.
I had a similar experience once when I was visiting a friend in a small town. The morning was so foggy that I couldn't even see the end of the street. It felt like walking into nothingness.
Foggy mornings really have their own mood.
Every type of weather brings a mood. Sunny weather is energetic, rain is calm, wind is dramatic, snow is magical, fog is mysterious, and cold weather is cozy.
That's why talking about weather is more than talking about temperature. It's talking about feelings and moments.
Exactly. And sharing these small stories helps you sound natural in English. It shows your personality.
And it builds confidence. The more you talk, the easier it gets.
So for everyone listening, try to describe one weather moment from your life. It can be something simple, a sunny walk, a noisy storm, a windy morning, anything.
And pay attention to how the weather made you feel. That's what makes the conversation interesting.
Before we finish, I want to share one more weather moment from last year that I really enjoyed.
Oh, which one?
It was the first warm day after a long winter. I went outside without a heavy coat for the first time in months. The sun felt warm on my skin, and the streets suddenly looked full of life. People were eating ice cream, kids were running around, and the whole city seemed happy. That moment reminded me that good weather has the power to change everything. Our mood, our energy, our whole day.
I love that feeling. The first warm day always gives people hope. It's like the world is waking up again.
Exactly. And that's why weather is such a great topic. It's simple, relatable, emotional, and universal.
So keep practicing, keep talking, and keep paying attention to the little weather moments around you. They're great for learning English and great for enjoying life.
Yes, practice makes a man perfect.
See you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.